Good day, everyone. So now I will discuss to you the part 2 of partnership liquidation. So our previous video, we discussed the lump sum liquidation. Now we will go to the liquidation by installment. So our outline for this topic is first the definition of liquidation by installment, the approaches of cash distribution, and the accounting procedures of installment liquidation. Now, let's define first the installment liquidation. So, it means that non cash assets are converted into cash one at a time or on a piecemeal basis. So, compared to the lump sum liquidation, isahan lang yung pagbenta natin, ano, hindi tayo nagdi-distribute ng cash as long as hindi maubos lahat ng ating non-cash assets. So, isahan lang yung pag-distribute natin ng cash. So, magiging problema natin dito sa installment by liquidation is paano natin i-distribute yung cash sa mga partners equitably. So, as long as na meron tayong available cash that will be distributed to the partners. So, we have two approaches of cash distribution. So, first, the theoretical loss approach. And then, the number two is the loss absorption ability approach. Okay, so since dito sa ating liquidation by installment, since hindi nga uh, isahan yung pagkabenta ng ating mga non-cash assets, dito sa theoretical loss approach, ang ginagawa natin dito, kung meron tayong after the first installment or first realization of non-cash assets, kinukuha natin yung capital balances ng mga partners, and then yung remaining unsold non-cash assets will be considered as the theoretical loss. So that loss will be distributed to the partner. So later on, mas i-discuss pa natin yan para mas maintindihan nyo. And then dito sa loss absorption ability approach, so before the liquidation process, gumagawa na tayo nitong tinatawag natin na cash priority program. Dito pala sa theoretical loss approach, yung ginagamit natin is schedule of safe payment. So kapag sinabing schedule of safe payments, this procedure anticipates any possible losses before finally distributing the available cash. And then the cash priority program, this procedure is used when partners desire to determine whom among them will receive the cash first. Now let's proceed to the accounting procedures. So again, we have the same procedures whether lump sum liquidation or installment liquidation, except that ang nadagdag lang dito is kapag meron tayong or kapag gagawa tayo ng schedule of safe payment or cash priority program. And if in case meron tayong mga liquidation expenses and unrecorded liabilities that will be paid first before the payment of liabilities to outside creditors. So, diretso na tayo sa ating illustration para mas maintindihan nyo. So, we will use the same example dun sa ating lump sum. So, again, presented the financial position of ABC partnership. The other assets is 136,000. And then, on our next slide, the other assets were sold. So, first installment natin, yung ating non-cash assets of 50,000 were sold for 40,000. That means meron tayong loss of 10,000. Second installment, NCA having a book value of 60,000 were sold for 55,000. And then on third installment, the remaining non-cash assets were sold for 24,000. Profit and loss ratio is 4:4:2 to A, B, and C respectively. So, ang unang approach na i-illustrate natin is yung theoretical loss approach or yung gagamitan natin ng schedule of safe payments. So, again, we have the same statement of liquidation, ganun pa din, heading, and then ipa-plot natin lahat ng given doon sa ating statement of financial position. So, dito sa gilid is the first installment. So, balik tayo dun sa ating given. On the first installment, the non-cash assets of 50,000 were sold for 40,000 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong cash na natanggap amounting to 40,000 and then yung ating other assets is 50,000. So, yun yung nabenta natin. So, using the profit and loss ratio, 4:4:2. So, eto na yung loss na nakuha ng mga partners after the first realization. So, compute natin yung balances after the first installment. So, ayan. Ito na yung balances ng mga partners right after the first realization. So, wala pa tayong naging problema kasi nga positive pa yung mga capital balances. So, next step after the first realization is bayad agad ng utang. So, payment of outside creditors. Payment to outside creditors. So, bawas tayo dito ng 44,800. So, ayan, bawas tayo sa cash and then bawas din tayo dito sa ating liabilities para ma-zero out na siya. Again, kunin natin yung balance after payment. So, eto na yung balances natin. After the first realization, we have an available cash of 3,200, unsold or the remaining non-cash assets of 86,000. We have B and C loan, A capital 34,000, B capital 20, and C capital of 30,000. Now, the next step is to distribute this available cash to our partners. Pero, titingnan nyo, and kung maalala nyo yung lump sum, equal yung ating cash dito sa mga capital balances, which means dinediretso lang natin kung ano yung available cash that will be distributed using the capital balances. But in here, hindi natin pwedeng gawin yun kasi nga 3,200 lang yung available cash na meron tayo. So, we will be using the schedule of safe payments. So, let's proceed. So, in making the schedule of safe payment, so ganito yung magiging itsura niya. Again, we have our heading, the name of the partnership, or name of the business, the schedule of safe payment, and then, dito, ang nakalagay is first installment na lang. Kasi wala naman tayong date. So, ayan. So, ang first step in making the schedule of safe payment is kukunin natin ito, balances after the first realization. So, magkano ba yung capital balances nila after the first realization? So, kung titingnan natin yung ating statement of liquidation dito sa kabila. Okay, meron tayo dito. Ito, yung balances nila after the first realization. Ito yun. Ito yung sinasabi. So, kokopyahin natin yan. Lagay natin dun sa ating schedule of safe payment. So, ayan na. Na-plot na natin yung ating capital balances and our loan. So, again, ang unang kukunin natin is yung capital and loan or the capital interest. So, since meron tayong loan, i-add natin yan. So, eto yung total niyan. So, for A, meron siyang capital or total capital interest of 34,000. For B, 22,000. And for C, is 33,200. Now, take note na if itong loan na ito is receivable of the partnership to the partner, that will be deducted from the capital balances. Again, if this is a receivable of the partnership to the partners, this will be deducted from their capital accounts. But since this is payable of the partnership, so addition siya. Now, after that, kukunin natin yung tinatawag nating theoretical loss. So, pag sinabing theoretical loss, ito yung unsold portion ng ating non-cash asset. So, kung titingnan natin dito sa kabila, meron tayong unsold na 86,000 pesos. So, ito yung i-assume natin as theoretical loss. So, deduct natin 86,000. Now, this 86,000 will be distributed since i-assume natin na baka hindi na ito mabenta, and that means magiging loss siya kung sakali na hindi mabenta. So, i-distribute natin ito sa mga partners using their profit and loss ratio. Okay, so yan na ang hatian ng mga partners sa theoretical loss. Na kung i-compute natin yung after the theoretical loss, kukunin natin yung cash balance for distribution. So, kunin lang natin, isa-subtract natin tong total sa theoretical loss. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong cash balance for distribution na 3,200. Please, pakipansin. 3,200 dito, dun sa ating statement of liquidation, 3,200 din. So, equal talaga yan sila. So, ang next step na is compute muna natin ang balances nitong mga partners after the theoretical loss. So, eto na. Nagkaroon tayo ng negative kay A at saka kay B. So since dalawa sila yung nagkaroon ng deficiency, hindi natin gagamitin yung priority natin, yung alam natin sa lump sum ha. Yung gagawin natin dito is i-absorb itong may deficiency ng isang partner or ni C partner. So since siya lang mag-isa, yung hindi nag-negative, so siya na ang mag-absorb nito lahat. So, 400 and 12,400. Okay. So, ito na. Yung deficiency was absorbed by C partner. So, ibig sabihin, dito magiging 0. 0. And then, KC is 16,000 less 12,800. That is equal to 3,200. Which means, siya yung makakatanggap ng available cash natin na 3,200. So, kung titingnan natin sa ating statement of liquidation, itong 3,200 available that will be distributed to C partner. Okay, so after the first distribution of the cash available, eto na yung balances of the partners before the second realization natin. So, let's proceed to our second realization. So, sabi ng problem, the second installment, 60,000 of our other assets were sold for 55,000, which means na meron tayong loss of 5,000 pesos. So again, on the second installment, nakabenta tayo ng 60,000 worth of other assets or the non-cash assets. So bawas natin yung 60,000 and then naka-receive tayo ng 55,000 pesos. So compute natin yung balances and meron pala tayong loss na 5,000 that will be distributed again to the partners using the profit and loss ratio. Okay, so ito na yung ating distribution of the 5,000 loss to the partners. So, compute na natin yung balance or the balances after the second installment. So, ito na siya. We have a cash balance of 61,400. Yung other assets natin, 26,000. Again, wala na tayong liability kasi na-paid na natin kanina. And then, loan of the partners and then the capital. So, kung mapapansin nyo, wala tayong problema kasi nga naka-positive pa ito lahat. So, after that, na meron tayong available cash of 61,400, again, distribution to partners ulit. So, every time na may available cash, magdi-distribute tayo sa partners, which means gagawa ulit tayo ng schedule of safe payment. So again, dito sa ating schedule of safe payment na second realization, so ang kukunin na natin is yung balances after the second realization. So yung capital balances natin is ito, 3218 and 25,800. So yan na yung ating capital balances. Then i-add natin yung loan ng mga partners. So we have here the total capital interest. Next is kukunin ulit natin yung theoretical loss or the unsold portion of the other asset. So yung ating theoretical loss for the second realization is eto, 26,000. So yan yung ating theoretical loss. So ilalagay na natin siya dito. That is 26,000. Now, compute natin kung magkano yung cash balance natin for distribution. So, eto na yung ating theoretical loss. Again, yung theoretical loss natin of 26,000. So, yan na yung ating theoretical loss which was distributed using the profit and loss ratio. So, yung balance after the loss or that theoretical loss is this. So, meron tayong 55,000 cash for distribution. And since wala namang negative na dito sa ating schedule of safe payment, so etong 55,000 available that will be distributed based na dito sa kanilang balances. So, idiretso na natin ito or ilagay na natin ito dun sa ating statement of liquidation. Okay. Pasensya na kanina may amount to dito. So, dapat 0 yan. Hindi ko kasi na negative. So, dapat yung available cash natin is 55. Yun lang yung na-receive natin from the conversion of or from the second installment. So, again, yung 55,000 natin na available that will be distributed gamit yung ating schedule of safe payment kanina. Yan, 21,600, 96, and 23,800. Again, bawas yan sa kanilang capital balances. So, ayan na yung ating balances. Compute natin yung ating balances. So, balances before third and final realization is this. So, eto na. Proceed na tayo sa final natin na realization. So, third installment, the remaining non-cash assets were sold for 24,000. So, kung meron tayong 26,000, the remaining, and then 24 siya na benta, or proceeds, ibig sabihin meron tayong loss of 2,000 pesos. So, Bawas na natin yung 26,000 dito. And then, naka-receive tayo ng 24,000 pesos. And then, i-distribute natin yung 2,000 loss sa ating mga partners using their ratio. Okay, so the loss na makukuha ni A is 800, 800 and kay B and kay C is 400. Therefore, the balances of the partners after the third and final realization is this. So, ito na yung balances ng mga partners. So, please check kung balanse ba itong mga amounts na ito naka-highlight. Kung balanse ba ito dito. Dapat 24,000 din to para mag-equal sila dito. So, after that, kapag wala ng amount itong ating other assets, final distribution na ng 24,000. This means that hindi na tayo gagawa ng schedule of safe payment kasi wala na tayong theoretical loss or yung possible loss natin kasi nga nabenta na natin lahat ng ating other assets. So, this will be distributed, the 24,000 will be distributed using their capital balances. Okay, so ayan na yung ating final distribution to partners. Yung ating entry, the same pa din kung ano lang yung ginawa nyo dito sa statement of liquidation, ganun din yung journal entry nyo. So now, let's proceed to the second approach using the cash priority program. Now, proceed tayo doon sa ating second approach, the cash priority program. Okay. So, dito sa cash priority program natin, before tayo mag-proceed sa liquidation process, gagawin muna natin yung ating parang schedule pa din siya. Pero yung tawag natin dito is cash priority program. Now, yung unang gagawin natin is kukunin natin yung balances of the partners before the realization. So, based dun sa given natin, so meron tayong 38, 24, and 32. So, pa-plot natin ito dito sa ating loss absorption ability. Ito, 38, 24, and 32, and then the loan. Okay, after natin makuha yung total partners interest, again, paki-take note ha na before, balances before realization. So, yung pinaka-raw talaga na capital balance nila. And then, yung loan nila, i-add natin yan. That is the total partners interest. And then, after that, i-divide natin itong mga amount na ito sa kanilang profit and loss ratio. Again, i-divide natin ito sa kanilang profit and loss ratio. So, yung ratio niya is 40%, 40%, and 20%. So, now, proceed tayo. I-divide na natin siya. So, itong makukuha natin, ito yung loss absorption ability or capacity ng mga partner. So, ito yung loss na kaya nilang i-absorb based dito sa kanilang capital balances. So, next is after natin makuha yung kanilang loss absorption ability, i-rank natin sila. So, kunin natin kung sino yung pinakamataas, and then yung next, and then yung pinakamababa. So, based dito sa kanilang loss absorption ability, si C yung pinakamataas, and then si A, and then si B. So, ang gagawin natin, so dito, kung sino yung may pinakamataas na loss absorption ability, so siya yung may first priority na mabigyan ng cash in case merong available na cash. So, dito si C yung first priority, and then si A, and then si B. So, ang gagawin natin dito, so itong amount ni C, so ang amount ni C is i-deduct natin sa excess ni A. So, I mean, yung excess ni, again, kukunin natin yung excess ni C over kay A. So, magkano ba ang excess ni C over A? So again, ang excess ni C over A is 81. So, paano ito nakuha yung 81? Compute lang natin. 176 less natin yung 95, that is 81. So, i-deduct natin yan kay C para pag kinompute natin, magiging magkapantay na sila. So, compute lang natin. Okay. So, si A and si C is magkapantay na in the amount of 95,000. So, next na naman, so ang goal natin dito, dapat magkaroon ng uniform loss absorption ability yung mga partners. Dapat maging 65 ito sila lahat. So, again, yung una natin ginawa, yung pinakamataas, siya yung may first priority. Kinuha natin yung difference nila para magkapareho yung first and second, maging 95. And the next, kukunin natin yung excess ni C and ni A over kay B. So, magkano bang difference nito ng 95 and 65? Okay, so ayan na. The excess of C and A over B is 30. So, pag kinompute natin to, magiging 65 na. 65,000. So, uniform na yung ating loss absorption ability. Okay, so after natin na ma-uniform yung kanilang loss absorption ability, punta na tayo dito. Etong may mga excess. Eto, so, again, nalaman natin na ang may first priority kapag may available na cash is C, partner C, and then ang second priority, CA and CC, and then third or last na priority na or last na makakatanggap si partner B. So, ang gagawin natin, itong excess na 81,000, i-multiply natin siya sa profit and loss ratio ni C since si C yung pinakaunang makakatanggap. So, 81,000 times 20% tayo. So, that is 16,200. So, ang first available na cash is 16,200 that will be given to C. So, ganyan yung mangyayari. And then, etong pangalawa naman na 30,000. So, ang next is, dito na tayo sa excess of C over A, itong 30,000. So, first is si letter A. Yung 30,000 niya, i-multiply natin sa kanyang profit and loss ratio na 40%. So, ibig sabihin, yung cash payment na matatanggap niya is 12,000. And then, kay letter C, 30,000 times 20%. So, 6,000. So, sa second installment, kapag meron available na cash, sa kanila mapupunta. Or ito yung matatanggap nila na cash. So, ibig sabihin nito, kapag merong cash available na 34,200, ang unang maghahati is si A and si C. So, based dito sa order priority. So, first si C, and then sa second priority, is dalawa na sila. So, any amount in excess of 34,200 or any cash available in excess of 34,200, paghahatian na yan ng mga partners based on their profit and loss ratio. So, dito sa cash priority program, isang beses lang tayo gagawa. Unlike doon sa schedule of safe payment, as long as meron tayong non-cash assets, which will be our theoretical loss, gagawa tayo ng schedule. So, dito, isang beses lang bago tayo magsimula ng liquidation process. So, start na tayo sa statement of liquidation. Again, sa ating first installment, nakabenta tayo ng 50,000 worth of other assets in the amount of 40,000. So, ibig sabihin, ito total natin yan. Ito na siya. After that, bayad tayo ng ating liabilities. Okay, so meron tayong available cash of 3,200. Now, the question is, paano natin yan i-distribute sa ating mga partners? So, balik tayo din sa ating cash priority program. So, kung titingnan natin yung ating cash payments, ang first priority is si C. Kasi nga siya yung may pinakamataas na loss absorption ability. So, since 3,200 lang yung available cash, so siya na agad yung makakatanggap. Okay, so ito na yung balances natin after the first realization, balances before the second realization. So, next na tayo, next realization natin. Again, the same pa din yung mga given natin ha. Other assets of 60,000, nabenta natin for 55,000. Meron tayong loss of 5,000, which was distributed using the profit and loss ratio. And then, kunin natin yung kanilang balance. Ayan na. So, meron tayong available cash of 55,000. So, question, paano natin yan i-distribute sa ating partners? So, again, gamit yung ating statement of, yung ating cash priority program. Okay, based dito sa ating cash payments, again, yung first priority natin is si partner C. So, meron siyang 16,200. So, kailangan i-satisfy muna natin yung priority niya na matanggap, that is 16,200. So, on first realization, yung cash available natin is 3,200. So, since siya yung first priority, siya yung makakatanggap ng buong 3,200. No? Meron pa siyang remaining na 13,000. On the second realization, meron tayong available cash na 55,000. Again, since hindi pa na-satisfy fully yung kay partner C, kasi kulang pa ng 13,000, so dapat i-satisfy muna natin yan. So, dapat yung 13,000, bibigay natin yan kay kay partner C para ma-satisfy yung ating first priority. Okay, so ganito na. Nilipat ko lang Yung priority niya, again, 16,200. So, yung first available na cash, 3,200. And then, yung kulang pa sa kanya is 13,000. That is 16,200 less 3,200. That is 13,000. So, kukunin yan dito sa 55,000 na cash available para ma-satisfy natin yung first priority. Now, na-satisfy na natin yung first priority, so punta na tayo sa second priority. So, dito sa second priority, ang makakakuha na ng cash is si partner A and si partner C. So, dalawa na sila. So, dapat ang matanggap nila dito is 12,000 kay A and 6,000 kay C. So magkano ba ang naiwan na pa na pera dito sa 55,000? So compute natin 55, less natin yung 13. So meron pang 42,000 available for C and A. So based dito sa priority, 12,000 ang kay A and then 6,000 ang kay C. So ang total niyan is 18,000. So out of 42,000, ibabawas natin yung 18,000 na second priority. So may sobra pa na 24,000. Which means, eto na yung excess of 34,200. So, since nasatisfy na natin yung first and second priority, paghahatian na ng mga partners ang sobra. So, itong 24,000 na ito, paghahatian na ng mga partners using their profit and loss ratio. So, kay A is 40%. The same with partner B na 40%. And kay partner C na 20%. So, that is 24,000. So, eto na yung matatanggap ng mga partners on the 55,000 na cash available. So, ito total natin yan. So, 12,000 plus natin yung 9,600. And then, kay C. So, eto na yung paghahatian ng mga partners. Ito yung sa 55,000 na cash available. So, ipa-plot na natin ito sa ating statement of liquidation. Okay, so ito na, na-distribute na natin yung 55,000, 21,000 kay A, 9,600, and 23,800 kay C. So, again, wala pa namang nag-negative. So, proceed na tayo sa ating third realization. So, on our third realization, yung ating remaining non-cash assets were sold for 26,000 and were sold for 24,000, I mean. And then, merong loss na 2,000, again, distributed using their profit and loss ratio. So, ang balances nila is, eto na. So, since nasatisfy na natin yung priority, and then, yung balances nila is wala namang nag-negative, therefore, yung ating remaining cash na 24,000 will be distributed based on their capital balances. So, ito na yung distribute natin ng 24,000 na cash sa mga partners. So, that's it. So, I hope na intindihan nyo yung ating explanation ng dalawang approach ng statement of liquidation and yung ating liquidation by installment. Sorry, so yung dalawang approach is the theoretical loss approach and the other one is loss absorption ability approach. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask sa ating GC. So thank you and God bless.